So, the other day we had this one in, the 1910, the oldest book that I've got to date. Yeah, it was fantastic. And I can't remember when we did our last review of all the books. I may have done it. I went looking for it. Do you know, I never entitle things the right way, do I? So I thought we'd have a quick tour and a look around of the books that's here. So my favourite, let's start with where it all started from, which is the Buck and Hickman books. So once you start collecting these, it starts you down a path. So there's the 1935 Buck and Hickman book. You seem to find them, but they all seem to be the same date. I'm trying to find different ones. And obviously they'll come in time, won't they? There's the 1930 Buck and Hickman book. This one is the 1964 Buck and Hickman book. This one is the 1953 Buck and Hickman book, and this one was or is the 1971-72 Buck and Hickman book. So that's what sort of started it all off. We picked up a shop projects book that's in there. These are a good thing. You see these discs, they're well worth picking up for, I think you paid a tenner for them. These vintage catalogue discs. You never know what you're picking up, do you? You don't know if you're getting scammed, but they're not a lot of money and there are a lot of good old books in there. But I am very much, I'd rather see the book, but you, some of you people would rather see it on a computer screen or could see it better, so they're well worth picking up. We had this one, didn't we? The HSS Limited. Yeah. 1940s book. So we picked that one up. That's in the collection. We've got this one, haven't we? This one was Randall's Limited, Bedford. Yeah, Bedford. Newton and Bedford. This is another sort of, again, all the same sort of tool workshop, engineer supplies. Did we have a year for this? I cannot remember. No, we didn't have a year for this, did we? No. But anyway, that one came in. Randall's. I think that's that shelf pretty much dealt with. Then, yeah, I keep meaning to get the other wrench books. There are a couple of good wrench books out there on the eBay and Amazon land. But we got this one, and it has come in handy to identify a few things. American wrenches from 1830 to 1930. Then we had this one, Garage Equipment and Workshop Tools, Bancroft, from Birmingham, look. Coventry, Derby and Wolverhampton branches. This was more like for, as it says, garage supplies, things that if you were a garage owner, workshop owner, that's the sort of thing. Oh, and I've just had a whiff of it. Oh, these older books, they smell fantastic, don't they? And then we had a George Boyd and Company, a 1966 engineer's catalogue. And again, in lovely, fantastic condition. Established in 1884. I'm not sure what year this one is. They seem to be up there. This has got to be the 60s, maybe the 50s sort of thing. Again, all sorts. You have to have a certain thing to go looking for in the history, and it's nice to have several books and several years to try and chase a thing. You know, you've picked something up and you like it, so you want to know more about it. So we've got this one, Brown Brothers. Yeah, there's two of these, I think, and there's these, look. And it's very funny seeing the cars, what they're advertising the equipment, but some of these have got an aluminium plug. Yeah, what's that, a Rover? So you can sort of date it by the sort of cars that they're working on at the time, or the picture in the book of the cars that they were working on at the time. And this is all sort of parts and all that sort of a thing. Dials and motor shop type stuff. Yeah. There's that one. And I think there is one more of those somewhere. And then we got a Buck and Hickman book, didn't we? 1961 Buck and Hickman. I think I've got pretty much all the ones that I'm trying to find. Pretty much. Unless something else comes along. But again, slightly different size. More of a bigger modern size. But again, a Buck and Hickman book, you know. But it's lovely having the date on the book to be able to reference. So 1961 book. We have got also here a Buck and Hickman, but this one's a 1999 to 2000. I know it's not vintage and old and whatever, but you know, because I'm a bit of a Buck and Hickman freak or fanboy, I had to have it, didn't I? Let's have a look. Oh, and then this was an interesting Dominic Chineer. Yeah, Dominic, here we are. We've got a picture of Dominic here somewhere. Where are you, Dominic? Near the front. He's off the he does a program on the television, The Repair Shop. Fantastic program to watch, but he works on that as part of his other things, and he's got his own web page, YouTube page. I had to mention, didn't I? Yeah. So that is well worth picking up if you're in the history. If you're into pub quizzes and you want to know what, where, you know, that sort of thing. It's knowledge, isn't it? It's all knowledge which creates the interest. And we've got another motor book here. Brown Brothers. I hadn't seen them, and I've seen a few on the old eBay. They do pop up now and again, here, there and everywhere. And again, it's just part of. Why wouldn't you collect one if you saw one, you know? And they're only interesting if you find what you're looking for. Yeah. And you just don't know what you're going to find and what you're going to pick up and what's the next point of interest going to come along. Mirrors and all that sort of stuff, and lights, and it just helps you dates and get a feel for things. Just adds to the collection. There's another one I'm thinking of, but I haven't. Hold on, then we got this one, didn't we? The Norton. Wow, lots of branches. Again, what's in here? engineers or garage equipment. Let's have a look. I think it's, yeah. Oh, this one. I always look for Colchester. Have a look at that, see. And the wrenches record, where the names arrive. It's quite interesting to follow when the names are in the books. So that's another cracking book. And did we have a date on this one? No, there's no date on this one. And there's also lots of other books, you know, that I pick up. Industry training books. Yeah. These, if you were doing like a college course type thing, I always pick these. Kev Hemmings, give me these. Just he, you know, he's in the workshop in heaven now, but I hope he's looking down and he's going, good boy Reggie, you're looking after them. Because the thing is, how many of these books have dodged the skip, dodged the bin, you know, people not knowing, not sort of appreciating. They're here and they've been appreciated and they've been collecting. I can't guarantee where they're going to go from here, what's going to happen to them next, but I can certainly guarantee them, whilst they're under my sort of responsibility, they'll be looked after, you know. Hold on a minute, find you some more. And we had this Moore and Wright book come in, yeah, which is it's nice to see the displays, what they should look like, but more of the precision tools, should we say? Yeah. So it was quite interesting to find a Moore and Wright book. And we had this little handbook, didn't we? Yeah. Again, one of these days we must take a day out and go and find these buildings where they are and what's there now. See Rainham, Gillingham in Kent, and Rainham in Kent, and Park Lane Industrious at Handsworth in Birmingham. Wow. So, and of course we had a couple of old maps, didn't we? Yeah, and we got a bus, a couple of books on some buses that we picked up for you know, on the car boot. I know we had it somewhere, yeah, we had a GKN. Yeah, we had a GKN book with all the fixings and the screws. A fantastic, I have seen a few and I have put a few bids in, but I've lost more than I've gained on these. They don't come up, you've got to be watching like a hawk to catch them. But this was a fantastic, the way it was illustrated, you know. So yeah, the GKN, there's so much stuff. I refuse to start collecting GKN stuff because that will take you down such a wormhole. They made so much stuff. Wow, man. I can't collect the stuff that I'm collecting, let alone trying to pick up another whole load of collection. And we got the little Toga tool book, didn't we? Yeah. There's Toga tools in it. Yeah. And it just makes it just adds, if you're a bit of a vintage tool collector, it all just adds to the fun of it. It's part of it, collecting the books for them as well. And some of these are quite difficult to land on, you know. You have to have your tentacles out and your little suppliers on the look for books. It's one of those things, nobody appreciates all these tool books and stuff. No, they're so easy to pass you by. And Steve found these for us, all them Glasses guide books. Do you remember all them? Fantastic. Wow. What was a classic car in them days? In November 69. Look, November 69, and they were talking about classic cars then, you know, and car book checkers. Fantastic stuff to get. And I always pick up to do with truck driving, if you're a driver. The thing is, everybody has a different, the rules and regulations, especially specific ones that are arguable. I always like to pick up the books and see what the book says, or at least what the book said on that year, you know what I mean? Hughes Guide. Apparently, I was told this is what the ministry run on. So them's the rules, apparently. But you know, they are the same, but they all are different. And 2018, so you pick up the, you know, as fresh as you can. They won't. They're always good if when you're trying to get an answer. When you've got a question in your head, and 2 or 3 people give you 2 or 3 different answers, it's always best to refer back to the books and find out which is the right one. It's an interpretation of the law, isn't it, that might get you into trouble, or you just want peace of mind. You just want to know for yourself, you know, that sort of a thing. So yeah. Remember, these were the maps that came along. Yeah, we had a whole box of maps, didn't we? And we landed on this, Great Engineers, didn't we? And the fact it was 1945, yeah, was presented to this guy, 1945, about the engineers. Who have we got? Yeah. We got George Stevenson. We've got Brunel here somewhere. George Stevenson. Robert Stevenson. Hold on. Where were we? Yeah. So we had this one. All the famous names. The Eiffel Tower, look. Yeah. So this was quite quite an interesting book. Not that I'm a particular mad reader of books, but it's always worth picking these up. You don't want to let them pass you by, do you? And who remembers Headlight? It used to be a magazine. There's trick books, but this Headlight was more technical. It used to tell you any court cases that had gone on. Who remembers the Headlight as a magazine? It was Headlight, wasn't it? It was a red magazine. You used to pick up a truck magazine. This Snap-on catalogue. And of course, the bridge maps of the UK. Every trucker really should have one of these, either at home when they're making a plan, or in their truck. You know, if it's your regular truck, it gets, if you were in and out the truck, should be bashed all the time, and you know, you'd have to go through it. But you should all have, every truck driver should have one of these at home, so at least they can ring the wife if you're not sure of a route, or you're going somewhere you've not been before, or you're near a railway, or you know what I mean. You can always ring up the missus and say, get that map out and have a look. Yeah. But yeah, Bridge Height Maps map book is a must-have in every trucker's life, every trucker's home. Of course, the old documents. Wow. 82, 59, look, Easterbrook, frozen foods, remember, and we top trumps with the old Buck and Hickman, an actual Buck and Hickman letterhead. Yeah, we see them, don't we? HP saws, yeah, and we got these, haven't we, going way back to 1905. We can go further back than that, can't we? We can go back to 1881. Can we go any further back than 1881? Let's have a look. 1882. 1881. Up there. Let's have a look. No, 1881 is about the oldest we can go. Yeah, so it's just also finding again the original paper, you know, the original documents. It's all absolutely fascinating. Been a bit of a Buck and Hickman fanboy. 2 letterheads from Buck and Hickman. We have pleasure in sending you a copy of the book.